Hello. Okay. Shall we?
Sure.
Okay. Hello. And welcome to the Jerusalem Hub Audio Experience, episode 10.
10.
Guys,
10.
10 episodes.
It's pretty crazy.
Do you want to reminisce on that for a second?
We just started going and
here we are.
We's going strong. We's going super strong.
This is what we call a proof of persistence. Like
no matter how shitty we feel, we're still doing it.
What was that you just said?
No matter how shitty we feel.
I didn't hear you. Anyways, quick shout out to one of our listeners from the beginning,
mm-hmm.
Moshe Epstein, Sir Moshe Epstein, Sir Celebrity Moshe Epstein had a baby boy. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Isn't that exciting? Oh, that hurt.
Yeah, thank you for being with us from the beginning, Moshe.
I'm really glad that your burp was live streamed.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about that.
Only one place you'll hear.
But yeah, anyhow, 10 episodes. We're almost up to 3 months of podcasting, which I think is pretty incredible.
Pretty epic.
Wow.
Pretty epic indeed. We have had a busy week, thank God. Very busy. Lots of background stuff going on. Just to run through I didn't even introduce us. We just went straight into it. Do we even need to introduce ourselves? Might as well.
Rewind.
Yeah, let's introduce them. Okay, fine. The purpose of our podcast, the Jerusalem Hub Audio Experience, is to show you through our journey and for you to realize that it doesn't take much for you to start a business or build your dream. I'm Shalom Makowitz, CEO and co-founder of Jerusalem Hub.
Yaron Pact, CFO and co-founder.
Aaron Manowitz, co-founder, CTO and CNO.
Okay, well
your title's just so long.
I'm just gonna pick one of those. I'm just gonna.
Sure.
Well, we did that
CMO.
a little differently because I had a little bit of a brain fart. So high five for being different.
Yeah.
No, you're not too excited about that. I was pretty excited about it, honestly.
Sure.
I think you should play guitar on this episode.
Yeah, no, none of us should play guitar.
No, that's just for show. But no one knows how to play guitar.
Nobody can see that. Also.
Nobody.
No.
But we're gonna learn one day, hopefully. Anyways, so yeah, let's get through the week. We had a pretty busy week. I'm happy to say that our last podcast episode got a lot of really awesome feedback. And if anyone out there who's listening has anything that they want to share that maybe they want to ask us or something that they think we should discuss on our podcast, please let us know, because we like getting good feedback, and the fact that we got so much good feedback is the reason why we're sitting here today and doing it again.
Right, and if you're on the live stream right now, I see there's like one person there, but ask questions.
Welcome, live feed, one person.
I wish we
You're
could
special.
So we could shout out.
So I came up with an idea earlier this week that we would start doing mini projects.
Projects.
Do you know what that is?
Yes.
You do?
I do.
Would you like to elaborate?
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird that you're doing that. You're literally, it's right here. Yeah.
I was trying to see. Okay. Yes.
Super Ox.
Hashtag technology. Anyhow, we want to start doing mini projects so we have what to do, so we keep ourselves busy, so that our name gets out there. You know, funny, stupid, weird mini projects.
You have that list, right?
I do have that list. There's not much on the list. Did you add anything to the list?
I might have.
Oh, you did. You added a few things. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to give people our ideas.
The chances of someone taking one of our ideas or taking even their own ideas and actually doing it is pretty slim. Sadly and unfortunately.
Well, that's one's interesting. But we're not going to discuss this because this is
Which one?
the last one that you wrote.
Recyclable.
Recyclable. And that's all we're going to say. No one else is going to know. SAT?
Yeah.
What's SAT?
Satellite.
Oh.
Okay, shut up.
We won't talk about that one either.
This is all secret.
That one's a sexy one.
Yeah.
It's sexy now. Okay.
Just like yours.
So the reason why we want to do this is just to keep ourselves busy, keep ourselves like we mentioned many times, we want to cast a wide net so that if something were to happen based on our productivity or based on how we are building as a company, we can always pivot to something that's working. Not only that, we can find different streams of revenue. As I like to coin it myself, I don't know if this exists out there, but I made this thing called Shalom's business web of cash.
Mhm.
Just find different ways to make money so that you can cast a huge web and you just be catching money as it's coming.
Catching money as it comes. That sounds.
It sounds like catching feels.
What?
No, it doesn't.
Hey, whatever the case is, I like the idea of it.
Thank you. So we
Catching money is a good thing.
are putting that into focus, and we're gonna move on to the next thing, which is money, 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 money. No one's gonna join me on that.
No, I think Sean should learn how to sing.
Okay. I honestly think I'm the best singer here
Maybe.
of the three of us. That's for
Maybe
definitely
not.
sure.
Well, we'll do sing up at some point.
It depends what you're doing.
Okay, but what do you mean by money, money, money?
Well, aside from the fact that last episode we were discussing about how we're going to maintain our blasting and our marketing, we also are focusing on money. We're focusing on how we can make money. We have some deals going on in the background with some VCs and some companies. We are in the middle of working on some marketing contracts with some companies. Hashtag, if you guys, I don't know why I said hashtag. If you guys need marketing, we are pretty good at it. Give us a call.
Slightly.
Message us on Facebook, Instagram,
Twitter.
All
All the above.
Yeah, and
What
we
else are
will
we on?
be happy to help you.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn as well.
LinkedIn business profile. We have that. Look for us. Jerusalem HUB.
What else? I mean, you're the money man, so without giving too much detail.
I mean, we've talked about it already, but the idea is essentially we've come up with enough connections that now we have the ability to start connecting some of those startups with some of the money outlets that we have connections to, aka VCs, investors. And so that's one of the things that we're working on in the background, as well as Sean was talking about, continuing to work on build our brand and continue blasting our content, which is something that we had slowed down a little bit, but we're starting to pick it back up.
Would you hear back from the people we sent to?
No, I did not yet.
Cool.
But we will.
But we sent to them, which
Yes.
is a big deal.
We sent
'cause
to
that's
them.
a hard
We
thing to
took
do.
action.
Right.
It's a hard thing to do to take action.
It's
a
scary.
hard thing to do to take action.
It is very scary to
Another thing that we were talking about doing, but I think it's a little bit further down the line, unless people who are listening have something else to say. You like this logo behind us? What if it was a sweatshirt or a t-shirt or whatever the hell you call this thing?
A pop socket.
Pop socket.
A pop socket.
You can't see it.
You know what? I'm gonna freaking make 3 pop sockets.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I
I
really.
want a pop socket.
One's a pop socket. Pop socket's coming.
We are gonna do that also because merch is cool and it's a cool logo. Represents Jerusalem for those here that are Jerusalem proud.
Jerusalemites and
And
Jerusalem.
it's branding just like the, what did you call it? Background?
Oh yeah, if you subscribe to our what's it called? If you subscribe to our website, you can get a free background.
Yeah, because that.
Backgrounds are us.
Yeah.
Not like Toys R Us, which is going down.
Anyhow, aside from that, the blasting continues, which means that we're going to continue to build content, continue to put our names out there. We have a lot of video footage that we have to sit down and go through so that we can come up with great videos for you and for us as well. It motivates us just as much as it motivates you. I pointed at you when I said us, and I pointed at me when I said, okay, you know what? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we have 3 viewers now.
Woo!
We're not.
Welcome.
Yep.
Either way,
Say
we're gonna
something
be-
rude.
We're going to be, what?
Nothing.
Whatever the case is, whoever's watching right now, whoever is involved, ask questions, make comments. We will address them.
Another really cool thing is that if you are enjoying this podcast and you have Alexa, we are now an Alexa skill. Could you
Yes.
explain to us what that is? What is an Alexa skill?
An Alexa skill. So, Amazon put out the Alexa, not to be confused with their website, Alexa and Alexa Rankings. They have a device called Alexa, the Dot, Echo, many other things, and the way that it works is just like a little circular puck, or however you set it up to be. It's just all controlled by voice. You can order from Amazon Prime, you could listen to music, podcasts, anything just by invoking a skill, which is a fancy term for an app. Just like your phone has an app on it, like Facebook or YouTube or whatever, what have you, Twitter. Alexa also has skills where people develop apps that are controlled by voice. So, the same way that you add an app to your phone by downloading it from the App Store, you go to, once you have your Echo Dot, you just go to the Alexa app and you enable that skill. So if you have an Amazon Alexa, you open up your app, search for Jerusalem, because we're number 2 on that search, because there's not so many people doing skills.
Oh, really? We're number 2?
Yeah, if you search Jerusalem on Alexa skills,
Jerusalem Hub is number 2.
Jerusalem Hub is number 2. So just
I thought
do that search.
I thought that Alexa skills are really like.
What is? Okay.
Right now Alexa skills are not saturated. So
Okay.
the fact that we are there.
But let's just say for a second that people do start using Alexa skills a lot more, and then Jerusalem becomes a bigger keyword there. Are we going to be able to maintain our status?
So the best way to do that is to have people that are watching or into our content who have Alexa to enable the skill and review it.
And
give us 5 stars.
And all that.
All you have to do is enable the skill, and once your skill is enabled, all you have to say to Alexa is, I'll tell you right now, it's actually pretty simple. So I'm going to search up Jerusalem.
What made you do that, by the way? You just kind of decided it's just another media outlet?
It's another media outlet. And all you have to say, once you enable the skill, you say to Alexa, what's my flash briefing? And our latest podcast will start playing on your thing.
Interesting. That's really cool.
And it's completely dynamic. It's always automatically updated. Basically, I set and forget it. We're done. Now we're on Amazon Alexa.
What does that do for SEO purposes?
SEO purposes is unbelievable because now we're on the Amazon feed, and we're on another medium where people can hear us.
So this is just another example of like.
For those who don't know what SEO is, it's called search engine optimization. It's based on.
Right, but it's beyond SEO. It's just another place where people can grab us, and discover us.
No, it's kind of the idea of
that much I understand. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, it's just like it kind of goes back to the whole idea that we're big fans of, which we kind of got from Gary Vaynerchuk, which is like be everywhere, right?
Yes.
Kind of just. It doesn't even matter if everybody's watching. It's just another place to find you. If you have a piece of you in every corner of the earth, somebody can always kind of fall upon you or
exactly.
You know.
So if I could recall, I did discuss Amazon's Alexa skills in an earlier podcast. If you can remember which one it was, that's when I started building it, and I hit a wall because it's not that easy to set up a skill. It's not like you create an account and boom, you're ready to go. It's a little bit more involved and a little bit more codified. So I hit a wall and I wasn't able to get it going. So what really pushed me to get it done was I was actually on Instagram and I hit Team Gary Vaynerchuk, and they were just showing a few screenshots of their new book, which we all own.
Crushing it, right?
And it talks about Amazon skills. I'm like, I gotta do it. So that day, boom, put it up, done. And
now I started reading that book. It's pretty good.
Can anybody do an Alexa skill? Is it something that
you could open up an Amazon developer's account and create a skill?
Okay.
But you have to know what your skill is about. There's so many different types. It's not just a news briefing where you play your podcast. You can play games. You play there's Jeopardy.
So for example, on our skill, the Jerusalem Hub skill, what else can we do besides the podcast?
Right now, it's just playing our podcast.
Okay.
If we want to expand and eventually do some apps or have an idea that we want to do with the skill, then
But the point is, it's there, it's in the universe, it's real, and it's another way for you guys to have access to us, and us to have access to you.
Which leads me to another idea. Right now, it's a little bit long because the Amazon skill is playing our whole podcast, like the first 5 of them. So what we could do is, if you want, every day someone says like a quick 2 to 5 minute little thing, like inspiration or something about business.
I was just writing it down on the mini projects list.
And that could be, we could replace our Amazon skill for that. And that will update every single day.
Replace or an addition?
It could be an addition also. We'll have 2 skills. We'll have the podcast, we'll have the...
Do those come under the same account?
I feel like we really
need
to understand what that means to be an Alexa skill. I'm kind of getting it. I just don't what does that even mean? Like, can you compare it to something?
So I was trying to compare it to an app on your phone. When you have the Amazon Dot or Echo, you basically have a device, phone, without a screen. So how do you download apps? you add a skill, which is a skill, if you think about it, is how the Amazon Alexa understands you and does something for you. So now that you have added the Jerusalem Hub skill to your Echo Dot, now you can invoke Jerusalem Hub and it will do that. Or if you have the Jeopardy app, now you can start playing Jeopardy, or even Blackjack, or buy stuff. Like technically Amazon Prime is an app on Alexa, which is a skill where you could just order stuff from Prime on your Amazon Alexa.
Right.
The more devices that are in someone's home, the more potential that we have being in other people's houses in a different way. Yeah.
Alright. So
As long drawn as that is, but it's pretty incredible.
Okay, cool. Fine. No, I'm trying to like soak in what that is.
Yeah, you have to,
because I can't understand what an app is without a screen. You know what I mean? It's hard to like really conceptualize that.
So the truth is, I originally, I got the Amazon Echo, but not to use it. I got it to develop with it.
Oh,
so
really?
I put $30 in. I got an Amazon Dot. And I didn't think, I had no purpose in it. Like, you can't really use it in Israel. So
Amazon
I got it.
Was that little thing?
Yeah, it cost me $30. And I'm like, I could build apps on it. So I bought it just for building apps. So I finally put this app out and I was able to test it before even it was released.
Yeah.
On my own account. And I saw that worked and I'm like, hell yeah. And I just published it. And they accepted it. And
so there's probably a lot more to come.
What do you mean they accept it? Like there's certain.
They have a certification process.
They don't always accept it?
No. They're kind of like Apple. They have a certification process when you release an app. So does Google, but Google's a little bit more
lax
about it. Not lax, but they're more open-minded about it. Ooh, I'm out of it, I think. But yeah. So that's an example of investing money into hardware for the sake of development and producing stuff. Like I had no ulterior motives.
So it's safe to say there's going to be a lot more Alexa skills coming our way.
Possibly.
That's pretty cool.
And we could probably find developers to build Alexa apps. And
maybe we could do like a video series on us doing Alexa apps or whatever.
Sure.
I don't even know how that
Why not? There are no other companies in Israel that I've seen, maybe Arad Sheva, but anyone in our niche that has an Alexa skill. We are the only ones.
Or even anyone who needs help building an Alexa app.
We'll do it.
We'll do it for you.
Yep.
He'll do it for you.
I'll make sure it gets done.
Okay.
Give us a call.
Do you guys think that, just moving on to the next thing, that was really cool to learn about, but we're done talking about that.
Yeah. We could talk for hours about it, probably.
Yeah, we probably could. Do you think that it's time to start planning our next event?
Yes.
When, like, what no?
I'm not sure.
Mid-April.
I don't think we're there quite yet.
Mid-April.
Or what, March, mid-April?
Yeah. We have an event on May 15th. Did you guys sign up for that one?
We have an event May 15th.
When?
That big event in Tel Aviv.
I thought that was March 15th.
No, it's May 15th.
Oh.
Well, that's a different story.
Okay, hold it. Okay, I got confused because I thought it was in 2 days from now. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen.
May 15th.
Oh, yes, we are definitely doing that.
Yep.
Yes.
So let's schedule our next event for April 18th.
So basically, you want to do it a little bit more than a month from now.
Yeah, we'll do it at, what's it called? What's that place?
At Golden Soldier Center.
Yeah. And now we have time to actually like work with them and see what we could do. Maybe get a sponsor, have free food, spoil people.
Yeah.
Let's like plan this out well, and then we'll start blasting it out like 3 weeks before.
Sure. Oh, so you're saying let's develop, like, what we haven't done until now is we haven't really developed it, we've kind of winged it.
Right.
But this time we'll develop it and then we'll...
What was good before is that we went for it. Let's make an event. Now we have experience about what the pros, cons, and how we do it, where our failures are. Now we know we could sit and we could do it. Like, we don't have an excuse of not putting together a really awesome event.
Sure.
All right.
We're not scared of it now. Like,
so let's start.
Before we were scared of it. We were scared of making events before. Are we scared?
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you the first event, like, we didn't know what to expect. That turned out really well. The second event, it went very smoothly. Not as many people showed up as we would have liked.
Right.
So this third event, if we can combine, I mean...
Well, the third event makes it kind of harder because there's no incentive to come. Like, it's not a bar. It's not a coffee shop. It's just a room. and we have to figure out how
That's
to
That's
fill
what I'm
it.
saying. We plan it out. We get free food. Maybe Lone Soldier Center or someone will sponsor it.
Right.
Like bringing high tech to Jerusalem for young entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
I have some ideas. that we
Okay.
can
Well,
talk
we'll
about.
develop it. But the
Yeah.
point is, third event coming right your way.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Is there anything else you guys want to touch up about what's coming up or what happened this
I mean,
week?
listen, I just want to put this out like for our sake. In terms of video series, we got to get back on task.
Yeah.
We've been sliding a little bit.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Just secret project. Not gonna go any further than that. But dropped a little hint right there. There you go.
Yes,
Just
we
keep,
do.
Just keep standing with us.
Yeah.
I wonder if anybody actually
You
heard
can't.
it.
You can't do it like that.
Too late. It's
Too
already.
many
It's live.
times.
It's already up there.
Okay, fine. Either way, it is exciting. We also have some exciting stuff coming up at the end of this month. I don't even know if we can't even talk about that yet. Can
That
we?
dude, that's in like
It's
10
not.
days. It's in 10 days. You said
It's
the
not.
23rd.
Some nice Pesach reading for
Right.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little shaken up at it now that I think about it. It's actually hitting me what's going to happen.
No, yeah, because
But,
you actually don't realize the kind of impact that these projects are gonna have, and
No.
you're not gonna like it's gonna come out, and then we're gonna be like, people are gonna be coming from us left and right. We're gonna be like, whoa, slow down. Slow
Mhm.
down.
Well, I hope
You
so.
quit my job.
I don't have such high expectations.
You know what?
No, it's good. It's good because law of attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that is true. That's true. I have said that in the past. I'm eating my words there.
Yeah.
That is true. Okay, fine. Fair enough. Good.
Do you feel the success in your brain?
In my brain always.
I'll tell you, we've talked about this many times, but I'm gonna bring it up again because it's just so exciting. How so many people I know, when I've talked to them about other projects or ideas I've had in the past, most of the time they kind of like are very cynical about it. You know what? I get it. I understand it. They're like, hey, how are you gonna do it? You don't have experience, you don't have knowledge. But now people look at Jerusalem Hub and they're like, this is gonna happen. Not gonna happen. It's happening. And
It is
so all these
happening.
people that have been cynical to me in the past about my projects and ideas, now all of them are on my side. I mean, by me, I mean all of you guys also. And they're all like, yo, I see the future in this. I see how this is developing. I see how this is going to continue to develop. It's
Yeah.
it's not a cul-de-sac. It's continuing to move forward.
As we
There's-
always say,
Yeah.
just a little bit of elbow grease.
Little bit of elbow
Consistency and dedication. That's all it takes.
Right. So I'm actually getting excited again right now.
Nice.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something. I totally forgot what it was. But like, let's. That's basically what's going on with us. It's consistent. You know, obviously, we're slipping up, but we have to keep things moving. That's only natural. It's only normal.
I mean, listen, we already moved forward. Like today, we're doing this live, right?
Yeah,
We've
true.
never done it live before. I mean, we did, but that doesn't really count because
Yeah,
that was a
can't you
special
tell it's
episode.
the first time
Yeah.
we're doing this live?
Right, we're doing this live, and so like it's like every single time we do a podcast or we do something in our business, we're adding a new element. So hopefully, like we're gonna start adding other things like more types of topics, changing new things up, getting guests more involved.
Yeah.
Personally, I love the live feed. I think it's amazing because when you're live, you're exposed and it's a lot more real.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
If you're watching live and you haven't subscribed, subscribe.
Yeah, please subscribe.
And
There's a lot
invite your
of
friends to
cool
subscribe.
stuff.
Actually, I wanted to add something onto the LOA, the law of attraction, that I brought up.
Please.
Just to fill up content. Something new that I did this morning at around 6:30 a.m. Meditation.
Yeah, meditation. We were talking about that last week.
Yeah. So, what's that guy's name again?
That guy.
So anyway, it was a 15-minute guided meditation video that I listened to. I was actually out in nature and listening to it, and it transformed my day.
I actually meditated this morning right over here.
It totally transformed my day. Like,
What kind of meditation did you
Yeah,
do?
do you want to share which one?
so it was this. I forgot the name of the video itself, but it's by this guy named Hicks. Not like Braxton Hicks, but I can pull it up right now. Where is that?
Well, what's the deal with the books page? Like,
Oh, I have to put that up too, but we'll get to that. Whatever. I'll put that up. So, I recently met someone, awesome person, whether she's watching or not, and she told me about guided meditation and walked me through it, and I tried it, and my day was absolutely incredible. I didn't have a coffee all day, and I was completely in the zone.
You drink coffee all day today?
I was completely wired and in the zone all day today.
You gotta share that with us.
Yeah, honestly, if you see how much coffee this dude drinks, holy crap.
And do you see like what I'm like the energy that I'm exuding right now?
I don't see any energy at all.
Yeah. No, I'm totally wired, and it's because I accessed that point of. It talks about well-being and a lot and stuff, and well-being. I don't know if these terms you guys are familiar with yet, but it's like when you tap into that and you bring yourself back into that zone, and you realize what is coming to you and what your potential is. And it's not that you have anything to fix, it's just that you're not at the next stage where you can be. And these are methods that are used a lot by Tony Robbins and all the big guys.
There's a 5-minute meditation by Tony Robbins that I used to do in the morning.
So it's a big mixture. The meditations, I listened to it the first time and I already picked out. It uses a lot of like well-being type of talk, and a lot of NLP words are used in there. NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. It's the process of using words to trigger thoughts and feelings or actions. And they use a lot of that there. You probably won't pick it out if you're not really familiar with the terms that are used. But it really it brought me back to where I was a couple years ago when I was working on myself. And I realized that meditation is something part of my day that I'm missing, and I need to bring it back. And I was just on fire today. Like, I was just unstoppable.
But what did you do though? Like,
all I did was I actually didn't close my eyes. I sat, put the earphones in, played the video, and just did whatever the video said to do, which was basically listen and breathe.
Yeah, that's it?
That was everything I did.
And you didn't close your eyes?
Cleared my mind. I didn't even close my eyes. I was actually a little bit, what's the word for it? I didn't really believe in it as much at that point. I was a little bit cynical about it, and I almost didn't do it. Almost like faked my way through it. I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to take the next 15 minutes, I'll let it happen, and then there's one trigger word hit me, like, bam, and...
What do you mean trigger word?
So there was a part of it that hit me that I actually remember, even though it was the first time I actually listened to it. It was this phrase, I'll read it out to you because I wrote it down. Allow the well-being you once had to flow back to you. It resonated a lot with me. I don't know if it'll resonate with you guys.
Sure,
because,
please.
That's what I just read out. Allow the well-being you once had to flow back to you. Meaning that you had a well-being. At one point in your life, you were in the zone. You were there. You were everywhere. Things were coming to you, and it's not that you're lacking it. It's just you're not where you were before, or it's available to you. Just let it back into you. And that thing hit me really hard, and that really got my cycle of the day going.
I guess I have to do it just to know what it's
I just want to try it just to see.
So the important thing is,
hearing about it sounds interesting, but if I don't do it,
it sounds stupid too.
It sounds very stupid.
It sounds extremely stupid.
I didn't want to make you feel stupid.
No, I felt the same way. I'm like, this is stupid. This is bullshit. That's what I thought about it beforehand, but it's not.
The reason why I don't feel that way is because I've done a lot of other meditations before.
I also I knew about it, and I've done stuff like that before, but at the point I was in the cycle in my head where I thought it was bullshit, which is unfortunate. Just to add another thing to it, the most important thing is to do it early in the morning.
Okay.
First thing in the morning.
First thing when you get up, that's the first thing you do.
But why?
Well,
the main reason is because during your whole day you're getting into a cycle of your negative thoughts or whatever's going on in the world. The main thing, once you wake up, you're fresh. None of that has started yet. You're ready to turn your day into how you begin it.
Interesting.
Like you said, making your bed.
That's true.
That's an accomplishment. Just so to here, you started off with clearing your mind.
You started off with 10 minutes of just chilling out.
Exactly. Listen, breathe when they tell you to breathe.
That's kind of similar to what you do for meditation. Basically,
I'll send you
a lot of meditations share a lot of similar characteristics, I guess. A lot of most of them are somewhat focused on breathing, and your energy and the energy around you, and whatever output, input, that kind of stuff. It's good stuff.
So they have a bunch of different videos actually, or meditations that are pointed at certain things. Like the one I did today was just based on well-being, basic well-being. I gotta redo this. Start again.
Time to start
Yeah.
the camera.
Yeah, I had to restart the camera for you guys watching. Anyway, so the one I started was well-being, basic well-being, but I saw a bunch of others in the list. One was bringing wealth and success. Another one was better relationships.
Wait, there's different meditations for different things.
Because what they do is when they speak it out, I'll explain to you.
I mean, that does, because that kind of sounds a little BS.
It does, but I'll tell you why it makes sense. Because in the well-being one, they say certain words and using NLP to trigger different thoughts and ideas. NLP, like I said before, is neuro-linguistic programming.
Okay.
It's when I use words to get you to take action, think, or do something. Like when you start. Trigger words, like when you allow yourself to feel your toes right now.
Robbins does this.
No, it's more subtle than that. It's like now that you could feel your toes are wiggling right now, or you're starting to breathe deeply type of stuff. But it's deeper than that. So they use different trigger words for different types of
interesting.
This stuff works.
I'm definitely gonna give that a shot because I think honestly I'm in the need for some meditation.
So I'll send you guys a link and I'm gonna post it up on
our
channels.
Facebook page and
for
sure.
Instagram, Twitter, all this.
Maybe we should probably make another page on the website, just based on
just add as many pages as possible.
All right, that's
good for us.
Don't shoot it down. Don't shoot it down. I just wanted to
write it in there.
Is that actually valuable to just keep on adding?
Yes.
More and more pages.
More content.
But won't it get confusing to users who go on our website and just like
as long as it's organized, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I guess there you have it. That's what's been going on this week. We're gonna move on to current affairs. You said you got that.
I got
What's
that.
going on in the world today?
Okay, so let me pull that up because I wrote it somewhere. Where did I write it? In my docs. So, I think I put it in episode 9. Episode 9, right. So, or was it cut out? No. Someone guide me here.
Somebody got you for what?
I'm trying to find where I put the content. I wasn't ready for that. You kind of caught me off guard. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Yes. Interesting. Yeah, so this was from last week's. Cisco CEO launches a networks of tech hubs in the heart of Israel.
Interesting.
Mr. Robbins, who is the CEO, said that the program is designed to accelerate innovation, promote entrepreneurship, and provide digital tools across Israel. So what Cisco is planning on doing is opening a bunch of offices around Israel and Yerushalayim.
Cisco is, if I remember correctly, some sort of distributor of all sorts of different types of equipment.
Yeah, they do a lot of tech stuff.
They also do a lot of restaurant stuff.
No, I think that's something else. Anyway, so the question is, what does that mean for us?
Okay, that is a very good question.
The fact that they're opening a bunch of tech hubs. Shalom, what do you think about that?
Specifically all over Israel.
Mainly Yerushalayim.
Cisco is
opening a bunch of tech hubs all over Yerushalayim.
What do you mean by tech hubs?
What does that mean?
Little
like
offices where they're promoting more than that to help entrepreneurship and technology.
That's technically competition.
Is it competition?
Not necessarily.
I mean,
in a way it is because we do want to have our own shared workspace at some point, but that doesn't actually, that's not competition for us as much as it's just. I mean, listen, there's two ways to look at it. One way to look at
I'm not looking at it from the shared workspace aspect.
No, fine. But in general, one way to look at it is, that yes, they're competition, but another way to look at it is, listen, if they have the confidence that they're going to come to Jerusalem and come here, they clearly think that there's a market for it, which means that shows us, hey, look, there's other people that have done the research and they see the market here, they see the potential here. That just means that what we're doing is right.
Yeah.
That means that we're hitting the right buttons at the right time. That's another way to look at it.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't
and
actually
also,
know.
who knows how long their rollout is, which I don't have a time.
That too.
I'm not really concerned that they're competition. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah. By the way,
But
speaking of that for a second, that kind of comes. Similar to what I was talking about the other day, where I sent you guys that link to that website where they have shared workspaces.
Yeah.
And
did you end up
resources.
checking that place out?
I didn't go there yet, but I was looking through the website. I'm gonna definitely go check it out though.
200 shekels for 3 months.
Something. It's ridiculous.
It's not
It
bad.
may be
It's
a
pretty-
very
it's
very
pretty
good
solid.
place for us to start off our origin story.
So yeah, so that was a pretty interesting development. And another interesting point, Samsung.
I'm just doing this. We're live,
You
guys.
see-
Check us out on YouTube.
What the hell are you doing?
It's all good.
What was that?
I'm putting up an Instagram story to.
Oh
get
man, I'm
people-
totally gonna cut that and just like do a 15-second.
Make sure to get the "what the hell are you doing" from me.
Like I'm in the middle of current affairs and this guy just goes on an affair with his phone.
Yeah.
So Samsung
Yeah.
is trying to get into the Israeli autonomous auto industry, meaning automatic stuff inside of cars. Basically, they put a lot of investment money into AI audio tech for cars in Israel. Not exactly sure what that means, but it seems pretty crazy. Samsung is throwing a lot of money into Israeli startups, especially the AI.
Samsung specifically.
Yeah, into the AI industry. So if you're in AI and you know what's up and something interests you in there, check it out. But it's good to be aware of that.
So we got Cisco doing work hubs in Israel,
Yeah.
and Samsung is investing heavily in AI in Israel.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
In the AI auto tech industry.
AI auto tech industry.
Like telling your car to turn on.
That's really cool.
Stuff like that. Like really crazy.
It's crazy how technology is moving these days.
Yeah, it's moving really fast.
Okay, well, is that all that's going
That's
on?
all I had for now.
You have anything
I'm
to
sure
add?
there's always a billion things going on.
Yeah, there's always a billion things. So we're going to move on to the Uncut and From the Heart
Ooh, I like that
section. Thank you. I like it though.
I don't know.
Woo! Freaking busy day. I'm spazzing out a little bit.
But show them your life.
Yeah, we are live. I know. Okay, so the 2 people that are watching are aware that I've spazzed out.
By 2, he was 20.
No way.
Just kidding. Yeah, it's 20.
Shit.
I'm just gonna say it's
Okay. Anyhow,
Uncut and From the Heart.
okay, Uncut From the Heart. Basically, this section we kind of introduced it last week, where we kind of talk about what we're going through and what we want to change to build our to build everything, and a little bit of motivation, a little bit of tips for you to start, so you can build a habit and be a little bit more productive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's one question that I asked. I wrote this down earlier this week. What is something that you would do to make Israel a better place right now? Like if you were to start a project right now, what would it be?
I had an idea actually.
Great question.
I don't know if it's making Israel a better place, but it's definitely, I don't know if this has ever happened.
Not a
to
better
you.
place. I mean, maybe I phrased the question wrong.
What do you mean by better place?
Not a better place. Like
the company better place?
Just
Bad joke.
what would you do to develop it?
Like, what would you do to develop Israel for the better?
I mean,
that's
what
a-
we're doing.
That's what we're
No,
trying to
I hear that, but I'm saying like something like if it was an individual project. That is what we're doing, but what we're doing is more of a broad concept.
Yeah.
Meaning like what? Okay, I'll put it to you this way. Seeing as how that we're all immigrants to this country.
Mm.
You come here from an outsider's perspective. In this case, we're coming from a westernized perspective.
Sure.
Right.
What would you do that would make Israel more, that would optimize Israel, as it were, in a better way?
Bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah, ditch the bureaucracy.
Yeah.
That would definitely be a help.
Like, we appreciate that you're giving jobs to these people, but like, come on.
I hear that. I would pick one thing. I hope the banks can be open at normal goddamn hours.
Also, the banking system here works completely different from America.
Yeah, very different.
Like, for banks here, it's a business. Banks
So-
in America, it's more of it's a different.
I have an interesting way to answer that question. I was talking to my dad the other day, and I happened to be talking to him while he was in King Soopers. For those of you who don't know King Soopers, like Albertsons, like a big grocery store in the U.S. And it's funny that, we have big grocery stores here too, but you don't have the experience. You don't have the convenience. This country, one thing that it lacks is that customer experience. there's very few places
Can
that
I
have it.
actually chime in on that for
please,
a second? Today I went to work, I was buying lunch today at the store. I was getting like yogurt, whatever it was, right? And I go there and I'm paying for the stuff and I'm putting the money back into my wallet and putting it in my pocket, and the girl just hands me the bag. She just puts it down. They don't even put the stuff in the bag.
They don't.
You know what I mean? I'm just sitting there, I was like, okay, fine, so I have to put this stuff in the bag.
It's not a thing here.
But I'm just like, come on, man.
Right. I mean, it also depends where, like, for example, I went to Black Bar and Burger a couple of nights ago, and the service there is spectacular. They come to you, they have their iPad, you choose the iPad, you give the order, and then she reads the order back to you. She comes every 5 minutes to make sure that everything's good.
Yeah.
She refills your water, and I'm sitting there like, wow, this is a real like U.S. customer experience.
Yeah.
You don't have that in a lot of places in Israel. So,
Right.
and it's expensive there, but like you get what you pay for there. It's not just the food;
Right.
you also get the experience. But like, this is something I feel like a lot of Anglos have an issue with, or a lot of Anglos are like, when are we going to get that customer experience and that customer service in Israel? And I think in certain ways it is developing in certain areas. But I think that's one thing that would be beneficial to everybody if we could bring it to Israel in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I mean, at least for our business, that's our goal is to give that kind of experience to our customers and our clients. But in general, though, how do you create that culture, that mindset for everybody to benefit from that, not just Israelis or not just like one particular group?
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you, that's really awesome, by the way, I like that. I don't know if anyone else has ever experienced this, but waiting for a bus, sometimes there's like a million people there, and sometimes there's not even room on the bus for you to get on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And recently they made an update they have a system here called Ravkav, where you have your cards, and now they're taking it off the bus. You can't buy your tickets on the bus anymore because you're getting one pass. Your Khafshi. I don't know. Do you guys still ride the bus?
Yeah.
Often?
I ride.
Not really.
Anyway,
I
so I take the bus every day to work, and sometimes there's not enough room on the bus. So I thought of an idea, possibly.
Okay.
So not include, like, they have a card reader on the bus, that's to get your pass, but they have sometimes there's more people waiting at the stop than are possible, and then the buses are filled, and then people have to wait another 30 minutes for the next bus to come. So maybe if it's possible, they'll put a card reader on the bus by the bus stop where people just check in, and then it'll send to the actual company. This many people are at the bus. Send more buses.
That's cool.
That's interesting, but I don't know.
I mean, I know for certain lines that's like a necessity. Like I remember when I was in the Army, you'd have certain buses where that was just a big bus because there's a lot of bases in that area, and you're like, this specific line should have a bus every 5 minutes, whereas that one, there's like 10 people on the bus. Have a bus every 2 hours.
So it's like it optimizes customer satisfaction.
Right now, what they do is they say, oh, this time there's not as many people, so we're only going to send one bus every 20 minutes.
And they do it sometimes, by the way. They do it sometimes, but it's not nearly.
But that would be hard because we're talking about.
That's the way they do it now.
I'm saying it would be hard to do because we're talking about like human drivers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't measure the traffic. You can't measure how many drivers. Like for example, for Shabbat I went to Tzfat, right?
Yeah.
Me and my brother are waiting by the bus stop.
Where you're talking about exit?
Yeah. And the one bus comes. He's like, sorry, I'm full. And he goes.
Right.
The next bus, I'm full. But like, how many buses are they sending to Tzfat that they can say, oh, there's such and such people at this bus. Let's send 2 buses.
So that way they'll know if you have something to check in at the stop, they'll know.
Let's say you only have 10 buses that are going to Tzfat, and like
there's always enough buses.
7. Yeah, I guess. That's interesting though. That is an interesting idea. I like that.
It is interesting. All right, put it on the list.
I think we could put it on the list. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, fine. I'll put it on the list. Okay.
Anywho.
Well, you made me put it on the list, so I can't even tell you. Okay? You're gonna have to wait.
Damn. Gonna has to wait. Bye.
Okay, it's on the list. Next. One of the people who liked our last week's podcast said that he really enjoyed the podcast, and he told me he gave us one of his tips that he does in order to make his day more productive. So we're gonna share that with y'all.
Yeah,
awesome.
His tip was that he likes to write himself a daily journal so he keeps himself motivated and moving. didn't really go into detail with that book, but I would go as far as to say that it's kind of like a diary in a sense.
Yeah.
Not to emasculate the guy, but it's kind of like a diary in a sense that he's saying like, oh, I'm doing this, this, and this, and I'm gonna see it through to the end. Is that how you kind of?
I read it slightly differently. Like me personally, I have an app on my phone, like right on the front page of my phone, and like every morning when I woke up, I mean I don't do it as much anymore, I really need to get back onto it, but what I would do is I just, either in the night before I went to bed, which actually works better, or the morning when you wake up, you quickly write out a list and like a time next to each thing. Like, okay, I'm going to wake up at 8:30, I'm going to shower at 9, I'm going to go work out at 10, and then you just kind of have that, and then as the day goes, whenever you complete a task, you either just check it off or erase it. So it's kind of a similar idea, slightly different. I don't really journal. Honestly, I actually like that idea. Like kind of to check in on yourself. How's my day going so far?
So that's something similar to what I brought up last week, is writing lists of tasks for that day.
Yeah.
Every single day you rewrite it, even if it's the same, almost similar to the previous day.
Yeah.
And you just keep checking these off and then keep recycling and doing new things.
In that specific case, I think it would be better even to do it on paper than on your phone.
Yeah, I always do it on paper.
Like write it down.
Writing it down, 100%.
I found, by the way, whenever I did do that, I haven't done it in a while, but whenever I did do that, I found that it was very, it was a huge deal for me to write a list and to actually cross it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the action of crossing it out was like big.
Yeah, because,
boom,
like,
look what I
because
did.
like you do something and then you take it out of your pocket, you open it, you cross it out, you put it back in your pocket. Whereas if it's on your phone, it's digital. It's not as real.
It's not the same.
So yeah, okay. So then basically more of the same stuff. As you can see, it doesn't take much. Everyone pretty much does the same thing.
Just do it.
So I'm gonna move on to the. Okay. So I'm gonna move on to the next part where I'm gonna ask you guys, and this is uncut from the heart. So what can you guys be doing right now that you would start tomorrow that could optimize your efforts? What could you start tomorrow that you know that you have to improve on? I'll start with myself. First of all, I did, as I mentioned last week, I want to wake up earlier. I started waking up at 5 o'clock. My goal is to wake up at 4:30. What can I do better? Well, I'm a pretty fit dude, but I have not been working out as much as I want to because I've been pretty damn busy. So I would like to do that more. I would like to make sure that to hold myself accountable towards the things that I've made as habits. So that would be working and, organizing my stuff and being altogether organized, as well as working on the things that I need to do. So that's obviously very broad. But basically being accountable for myself. I want to work on being accountable for myself so that I can start focusing on the things that need to be done that I have already procured as habits, and I'm trying to procure as more habits. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to try to optimize my schedule. I've already started well by waking up early in the morning. So there, the table, the floor.
Right, so I kind of touched on it earlier. What I'm going to start doing now is, for sure, adding meditation to part of my schedule. First thing in the morning. I wake up early anyway, so it's not a big deal. I just need to fit it in. Also, I need to get on the workout side because I definitely don't work out enough or at all, and it will definitely help me. And for sure, I need to get on those lists. I need to keep writing those lists and be more more consistent about it.
I'll start writing lists. That'll help me with.
You know what we should do? Write a list every day, take a picture of it, and send it to each other. Just to be accountable about it.
Hold each other accountable.
Right.
It's not a bad idea. So I'm going to start writing lists. That's what I'm going to do, so that I can get my schedule.
And follow up. I need to follow up a lot more with people that we're in touch with.
Yeah. They always need to do that.
You need to follow up. I need to follow up a lot more.
I need to follow up.
All right, last but not least. Woo! Kimosabi.
Yeah.
It's pretty short.
So I started a new workout program this past week. So, yay! I feel it's honestly it's insane. It's so understated how good it is for your mental health to exercise on a daily basis. It's like you don't think about it. Like I know everyone knows it, but nobody actually really knows it. That when you exercise on a day-to-day basis, it changes your whole cognitive stability. I don't even know what I'm saying, but it's
Maybe you
insane.
should get that job.
I know, right? No, like I was in a little bit of a slump the past couple of weeks and just started to get back into a real workout program, like on a day-to-day basis. I'm already feeling a lot better, a lot more creative, a lot more energetic.
I can tell.
Thank you. No, so that's something that I
Give
took
the
on.
credit where it's due.
Yeah. So that's something that I started doing already this past week. I'm thinking of starting to do kickboxing again because I love it, and that would be awesome. Because just sporty stuff and athleticism and like working out and exercise is something that's really important to me, and I know that it makes a huge difference for me and my mental state. So that's something that I'm gonna optimize, which is always one of our favorite words. In addition, I think also starting to write, like I was talking about how I write my daily schedule and such, but I think the paper thing, that's like the key there. It adds a whole new element to being able to take it out of your pocket and cross it out. So I'm going to start doing that, like writing it out on paper.
Boom,
and I want to start meditating again in the morning. Something that I've been neglecting for a while now.
That's a good idea.
So I'm excited to get going. And waking up earlier. That's another... yeah, clearly my idea.
Yep. Okay, cool. So there you have it. I'm going to start writing lists so I can get my schedule more optimized. You're going to do nothing, and you're going to do nothing. So I'm the only one who's winning here.
Well, good for you.
Thank you. Now, let's move on to books. So, because I just spoke about increasing my productivity, I have gone back to the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. I listen to it all the freaking time, especially when I need to revamp my situation, because he basically talks about everything involved with just 10x 10 times, just do 10 times more, do everything 10x. Now it sounds outrageous, it sounds crazy, it sounds like I'm part of a cult, but legitimately
he is.
Well, okay, but legitimately it works, because it gets you to realize that you have so much time. If you spend your time wisely, you have so much time to do everything it is that you want to do.
Can I share something about the 10X Rule?
Yeah, sure. I was not anyways.
Okay. I started listening to it again. Like, this is the second time I've read the book. I read it about 2 years ago, and then I started reading it again, or listening to it again yesterday. And what was really cool is, for me, some of my personal goals, I was starting to think that maybe I'm thinking too, like, outlandishly, and I'm thinking too far ahead, and I'm thinking too big, and I was starting to think, like, maybe I need to settle a little bit, maybe I need to back off. And he's like, no. He's like, absolutely not. He said, never look at a goal and go,
and take it down.
Yeah, take it down. Always say, how much, what other efforts can I put in to get closer to it? He says, if you ever have the mindset of, I need to back away from my goal, then you're doing it wrong. And he says every company or anybody else is doing that. So I was thinking about that for Jerusalem, how I was thinking about that for some of my personal goals. Like, hey, maybe things aren't happening quite the way we were expecting them to, or not. Maybe we need to back off a little bit. And he's going, that's the exact opposite. He said, don't back off in your goals. Find more ways to get there. Right. So that was really a mind blower.
It's hard to conceptualize that, because you hear some of the stuff that he's done, you're like, what the hell, you're crazy. Right. But then that's you realize, like, oh, because you're so bold, that's how it works.
But here's what's cool about all this stuff is, nothing he says, this is what I really like about Grant Cardone specifically, is that nothing he says is complex. It's all very simple. Yeah. That doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean that, like, oh, let me just, like, put on my pants and go outside and everything's going to work out. He's not saying that. No, but it's all very 1, 2, 3. It's not like multiplication and crazy. It's like, just keep on doing it. Just keep on doing it. 10x, 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 10x.
The only thing that's really stopping you is your fear. That's pretty much it.
Yourself, yeah. That's it. There's very few things in life where there's a bigger enemy than yourself to reach in there. Right. So I kind of, like, hardened my heart today. I was like, no, you know what? All those goals that I want, screw it. I'm not gonna, like, I'm gonna get back into that action of forget backing away from my goals. Now those goals, I'm not gonna change that. It's gonna take work, but I'm not settling on anything less than everything that I believe I deserve in this life. And that applies to every single person, either listening, everyone here, and everyone outside. So yeah,
100%. And that was something that I was mentioning earlier. Like, we're talking about all of our ideas and stuff, and like, oh, we don't want anyone to take them, but the chances are of someone actually taking our ideas and doing them, or someone even taking their own ideas and doing them, are very unlikely, which is unfortunate.
Because most people, it's funny, isn't it? Because in a way, it's you're thinking of it like double-edged wise. It's like, I don't need to worry about putting my ideas out there, because let's be honest, who's going to actually have the wherewithal and the balls to go and make it happen? Right. Not that many people. But at the same time,
there might be that one person.
Right.
You know what? And if somebody does, it takes one of our ideas and does it.
Good for them.
And they got it from us. Good for them.
Because we can't make everything happen anyways.
But we could try.
Yes, we can.
So on that point, he was to elaborate on the 10x rule is that he's all about like, oh, you make your goals really big, but part of the 10x rule is not just that your goals are big. You also have to do the 10x effort.
Your actions have to be big.
Your actions have to be huge. Like if you're doing 5 tweets a day currently, you should be doing 50 tweets a day. You want to contact. You only think you can contact 10 people a day. Contact 100 people a day. Like that type of stuff. It sounds insanely crazy.
And something else that I saw yesterday, which I just want to share because it was really impactful for me. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw a Gary Vee little quick video, and he goes, this is not related to what we were talking about, it's just like kind of a side note, don't judge yourself for not being productive while you're being emotional. And that was really cool because I feel like a lot of people, they're going through something tough and they go like, oh man, see, I'm failing at everything now and it's not and it's not going to be good and it's not working. And he's kind of giving us permission, like, guys, sometimes you go through hard times, you need that time. Just take the time. Don't judge yourself for slowing down because you're having a harsh time. Deal with it. It's going to take a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever it is. Get healthy again and then get back on track, because he says at the end of the day, what's that 2 weeks, a month in the scheme of your life? It's nothing. So stop making yourself wrong and stop beating yourself up for not being the most productive you can be when you're going through a tough time.
Also, if I can just add to that,
yeah,
if you dwell on that tough time and you let that tough time take over you, it's going to last a lot longer than you want it to.
Yeah.
These things, they go away. But if you dwell on it, it's going to last a lot longer. The only way that you can get it to go away is just to stay the course, continue being productive, continue doing what you're doing, and you eventually will find the light at the end of the tunnel.
Amazing.
With that being said, we're going to move on to a little bit of motivation.
That was motivation, wasn't that?
That was, but there's always more.
Motivation.
More motivation.
More.
There's also, it's like water. Well, you can drink too much water, but air. It's like air.
There you go. You can't breathe too much. Well, yes, you can actually.
Okay. You know what? Screw it. How about that? You sent us something on Thursday night last week that I thought would be very, very cool to say today.
So let's say it.
It was, you are unstoppable, not because you never have failures or doubts, but because you continue on despite them.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty powerful.
It's good stuff.
What the hell are you doing?
Anything to say on that?
What the hell are you doing?
I'm checking stuff for things.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a really good motivational quote. I think the fact that you can believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to be powerful. You're unstoppable. You're an unstoppable force. And it's not because you never have failures. We all have failures. That's how we experience. That's how we get better at what we're doing.
Or just quick, on a similar note, my dad has this saying that he likes to say to me a lot. He says, a man is not defeated when he loses. He is defeated when he quits.
Amazing.
Kind of same flavor.
You learn from their failures and you grow most from them.
Exactly.
Just keep going.
We're going to leave you with one thing. We have a challenge.
Oh, we actually have one question from the audience.
Oh, we did?
Oh,
yes,
shit.
we got tweeted. Can you just check the Twitter account?
Yep.
And then we'll deal with that, and then we'll close it up.
Close it up, Scotty.
First.
I will.
Probably not me. My phone's really slow.
Ooh. Shit.
Yeah, definitely not me.
Really, do I have to do it?
From Yehuda Makowitz. As of Monday, Spotify streams in Israel. What does this mean for tech and music in Israel?
I think it means one thing, honestly. I think it means customer satisfaction for those people who've used Spotify and have recently either moved to Israel or in Israel for a year or so, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think it means bigger things than that. I think it means that large platforms that are being used around the world are now finally reaching the rest of the world, which I think means a big deal for both Israel and for...
Yeah, because I think all these companies and all these people
else.
outside of Israel recognize that Israel is developed enough to benefit from these kinds of efforts.
You know what that means also? We have to get on Spotify.
Yes, it
which
does.
is kind of difficult to get onto because they're really annoying.
We're going to do it.
But we'll get it.
But yeah, so...
Start again.
So I think that, I think aside from the whole music factor, music is really cool, but I think the biggest factor about that is just that it's bringing... Other industries are realizing how big of a market Israel is, and they're bringing their stuff to us.
Which is good.
Which is cool. Same thing happened with Netflix. So, it's just things are growing, things are moving, and this is the right time to get into business. And that's all that means to me. Is anyone else? Did I pretty much sum that up?
You sum that up, and as I said, I'm gonna start working harder to get us on Spotify now.
Cool beans.
I think we have enough content for.
Well, with that being said, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Episode number 10. Next week's gonna be 11.
This is our 10X episode.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah. No, that was weird. Don't do that. Anyways, I'm just kidding. That was fun. Anyways, thank you for joining us. We did YouTube Live for the first time. It was a little awkward, a little weird. I guarantee you it'll probably be better next time.
I think we'll do it again.
We are going to do it.
Yeah, probably.
Absolutely.
Why shouldn't we do it again?
No, this is something else we're adding. New things every single time. All right.
In any sense, we will see you next week, and thank you for joining us. Now you have to do the two things? I'm
just going to do on that one. You guys could watch me do it. Okay. And with that, we end. Subscribe. Extra content for the Jews who are watching us.
What is happening? That's so weird. Okay, right.
Oh wait, I'm gonna use this. Hey guys, get back in.
You just shut
we'll do a.
Oh yeah.
This will be our. Look at the camera over here. Hey people who are watching. Take the picture.
Awesome. No, that's gonna be that's gonna be the cover for the next episode.
I'm aware of that.
Okay, guys. Bye. Thanks for tuning in, and peace in the schnitzel. If I could figure out how to turn this off. Peace in the schnitzel. Are you trying to stop streaming? Yeah.